Hey everybody, it is seed starting day. It is seed starting day. This is week 7 weeks into the last frost date. If you are brand new, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're one of my faithful followers, welcome to you again. Thank you so much for always stopping by my channel. Y'all, today is seed starting day, so you know that means I'm hype, okay? Because we're another week closer to the summer garden. So if you're brand new here, we are doing a weekly seed starting challenge. And we started at week 12 weeks before the last frost date. So I'm in Tennessee in zone 7B. So if you're in my zone, you can follow right along with me. But even if you're not in my zone, you can still follow along and be planting the same things whenever it is your time. So if you are already at 7 weeks to your last frost date and that has already passed, then you can check my video and say, okay, did I start that? Okay, let me still get in on it. Or maybe your 7 weeks till your last frost date is not for another 2 weeks. Then you know exactly what you need to plant in a couple of weeks. But every single week we are starting seeds, and I am challenging you to start seeds every single week. So will you join the challenge? Will you start seeds every single week? There are some people that wait until the last minute to start their seeds, and they're starting everything at one time. That can be overwhelming, right? There's also people that start seeds at the wrong time. So they're starting their tomatoes 12 weeks before their last frost date, when in reality, you should start your tomatoes 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date, right? Especially if you are growing outside. Now, if you're in a high tunnel like me, then you have a little bit more flexibility because you can plant your stuff a little bit earlier. But it is important to start your seeds at the right time. And so last year I started this weekly seed starting, and this year we are picking it up again because I want to make sure and teach you how to know when to start your seeds when. Now, I also launched a seed starting calculator about 30 days ago. You can grab it on our website, livingfoodsfarm.com, or the link is in the description. It is $6.95. It is an Excel spreadsheet. So if you are not computer savvy, that's not for you. But if you like technology and you want to be able to just put in your last frost date and it calculate for you when to start what, then go ahead and grab that seed starting calculator. Or you could just watch me. So right now I am sitting at 7 weeks before my last frost date. Y'all, it may seem like a far way off, but y'all, it's gonna be here before we know it. It is the first week of March. The weather is sunny today. It is nice outside, but it's like 45 degrees. In the tunnel, it's like 90. So that's why I'm in the tunnel in a short sleeve shirt, because it's quite warm and toasty in here. So if you are new as well, you can go back. There is a seed starting playlist. You can go back to every video. We started at 12 and 11 weeks before the last frost date, and we've been planting every week since. So if you want to know what you missed, you can go back and catch up. But so far, y'all, we have started eucalyptus. We've started eucalyptus, Dusty Miller, peppers, tomatoes, parsley, rosemary, sage, oregano, thyme, lemon balm, a lot of the herbs that take a little bit longer to grow. And then last week was the 8-week mark, and that's when we started our peppers and our tomatoes. And at that time, that was the biggest seed starting week that we had as of yet. But today is going to be another big day. Last week, we planted 4 trays of seeds, and this week, we may be planting another 4 trays of seeds. But what I do each and every week is that I show you the progress from week to week so that you can see the things that you and I started together. You can see what they're looking like, what I've had success with, what I have not had success with. And that way you can see, oh, okay, well, I'm right on track, or maybe I'm not. So I am going to insert that footage right here of the things that you and I started together just last week. Okay, guys, this is tray number 1. And this whole tray was marigolds that we did, a tray of 72. And you can see that overall we have really good germination. Really, really good. I would say easily 95%. If you can see, there's only a few places that are not germinated or that didn't come up. This is tray number 2. This tray is all peppers, and you can see the germination is very sparse. So let's start here. This is the sprinter. It looks like I have 4 out of the 6 there. That's a red bell pepper. I have 3 out of the 6 there, 1 out of the 6 there. Moving on to the next row. Again, that's peppers. That's 2 out of 6, 2 out of 6, 1 out of 6. I see one coming up like right there, but the rest of them, not so much. And then this is the orange bell pepper. I have 1 out of 6. I lost the label for this section right here, but it's a pepper. It's one of these, either the yellow or the orange, but nothing is there. In the jalapenos, I have 3 coming up that you can see there. Jalapenos there, nothing's coming up in these 2. And nothing's coming up right there, except one little one right there. So very, very slow on the germination. Okay, here is tray number 3. This is mostly tomatoes, except these first 2 blocks here, which is the Ajvarsky roasting pepper. You see I have literally 0 germination, 0. I might see one coming through, but then the rest of this is all tomatoes, and the germination is great. Pretty much, I would say 99%. So no issues at all on the tomato side. This tray is a mix of peppers, tomatoes, and marigolds. On the left-hand side are tomatoes, the Rebelsky. The first 2 rows looks great all the way down. And then the next 2 rows are eggplant, which is surprising because I have really good germination on the eggplant. It's not usually that good right off the bat, but it looks excellent. Then these next 4 rows are marigolds. You can see the marigolds are doing great even in this tray. And then we get into the peppers over on the right side, and you can see that the germination is sparse. Very, very sparse. Now I do see more coming up, like right in there. But the ones that have popped up, very, very sparse. Okay, guys, as you can see, I've had really good germination on marigolds and my tomatoes. The peppers have been hit or miss, which peppers take generally longer. They can take up to 14 days to germinate. Usually, I was looking back at my videos last year, I had peppers germinate in like 6 or 7 days. That is not the case this time. At the time of this video, we are like on day 9 of the peppers. And so I have some germination, but I don't have a ton. So I'm going to give it another week, and we'll check back in next week and see what peppers have done well. But also we're going to be starting peppers again today. Now on the marigolds, I had excellent germination. The marigolds, this is no exaggeration at all. That tray, the purple tray that had 72, germinated in 24 hours. Literally, I could not believe it. It was that fast. In 24 hours, I had germination. I had to take it off of the heat mat. Then also there was a tray that had peppers, tomatoes, and marigolds. Another purple tray that had marigolds in the middle that also germinated in a week. Now, the things that we started last week, we put on a heat mat, and that's the same thing we're going to do for the things that we start this week. They will go on a heat mat. The concern or the issue is that the tray that had only marigolds, I was able to take that off the heat mat immediately and go ahead and put it under light. The tray that had marigolds, tomatoes, and peppers mixed in, I let it go one more day. Technically, as soon as you see germination, you should take it off of the heat mat, right, and put it under light. I let it go one extra day because I wanted to give that heat to the tomatoes and the peppers. But I had to go ahead and pull it, and you can see, again, the peppers are slow because they weren't on heat. Now the tray that had just peppers, it stayed on heat the whole time. I just pulled it off the heat literally 24 hours ago when I saw the first parts of germination. So we'll give peppers another week or so to see if they pop up. I am concerned about the Ajvarsky because out of 12, I have 0 germination, and it doesn't even look like one is going to pop up. And I had the exact same thing happen last year, except not as bad. The Ajvarsky is from Baker's Creek. If you know, you know. Okay. Now, I'm gonna talk out of both sides of my mouth. Now the marigolds were also from Baker's Creek, and they germinated in 24 days. But I have just found overall the germination with Baker Creek seeds is very diabolical at best. Like they decide whether or not they're gonna want to come to life. They versus like a Johnny seed, they like, girl, we here for you. We are here for you. Other people, territorial seeds, we here for you. Baker's Creek, they got a little attitude. I don't, again, not to throw any shade, but I'm just telling you my experience after gardening for, this is my 5th year. Very inconsistent, very unreliable. Now, you see, I still buy the seeds, but I've gotten to where I usually only buy seeds from Baker's Creek that I can get from Baker's Creek only. So what I used to buy 4 years ago, they used to get the majority of my money. Now, because very inconsistent, okay? Very inconsistent. That's Barbara's opinion, and that's Barbara's experience, okay? So let's talk about what we're going to start today. Today, I have a long list of stuff that we're going to start. We're starting 21 varieties. Now, it's still tomatoes and peppers mostly. Yeah, tomatoes and peppers mostly. And I got my list printed out. Here's our little sticky note. So I went in and I took a look and grabbed my seeds that are 7 weeks before the last frost date. But then because there were so many, I kind of mapped out how many of each I needed. So I knew how many trays I was going to have. I already have 2 trays prepped that I did last week when I was out in the tunnel. So I just got to prep some more trays. But we're starting a lot of stuff. So today we are starting tomatoes, peppers, and then we are starting one flower today, which is coleus. Now, coleus is brand new to me outside of last year. Someone, a viewer, sent me some coleus seeds. I always thought that I didn't like coleus. Like when I would see it like in Walmart, I'm like, I don't know about that purple and lime green plant. But when I grew my own in my garden, thanks to one of you viewers who sent me the seeds, I fell in love with it last year. It was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And so I said, oh yeah, always in my garden. So I will be growing coleus again, and I can't wait to show you the variety that I have for coleus. And then everything else is peppers, tomatoes, and then we're going to do maybe some more marigolds as well. So right now I probably have 100 marigold plants, which is a ton, but I need a ton because I use them a lot for companion planting, interplanting in between all of my other stuff. Plus, we sell plant starts, we sell the excess, and that was a huge hit last year, so we'll have plenty of marigolds to sell this year. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna get my my labels and stuff done, then I'm gonna come back and tell you what 21 varieties we are starting today. Okay guys, so let's go through the first 2 trays. I have the packets laid out, I have the labels done, all the jazz. So I am using the 6-cell tray for these 2 trays. I think on the next 2 trays I'm going to use the 16-cell blocks, but these are trays from Bootstrap Farmer. Y'all, I ran out of my epic gardening trays, or they are misplaced somewhere. Because I'm like, why did I go so how did I go through so many so fast? But I looked at some of my videos, and I think I started with soil blocks last time, as well as the 16-cell trays. So I had to rush and get these from Bootstrap Farmer. No. Now, y'all know I love Bootstrap Farmer. That's where I started. But Epic Gardening came on the scene, and I mean, Kevin has won my heart with his products and the quality. These Bootstrap Farmer trays, can you see that? Do you see how bendable they are? They're not as sturdy as the Epic Gardening, but I ordered some Epic Gardening seed trays, but they are on a delay of like 12 to 14 days. So it's already been, I think, 9 days. So I knew I wasn't going to get them in time, but I know that Bootstrap ships fast. And so I was able to order these and have them ready for today. Pretty colors. It's the Whispering Willow Connection, which I heart Whispering Willow. But the quality is not even close to Epic Gardening. So I do have a code for Epic Gardening. I'm not just saying that because I have a code for them, because I was saying that before they gave me a code. But I do have a code for Epic Gardening. It's in my description. Again, my experience, my opinion, if you're going to get 6L trays, the ones from Epic Gardener, I've shown you guys before, these trays are literally indestructible. You can see here. Like, I can't bend this at all. It is rigid. It is sturdy. Versus this, very, very bendable. Not as sturdy, but they're going to be in a tray, so hopefully they'll hold up. The other thing that I don't like about the trays when it comes to these Bootstrap Farmer 6L trays is that they fit in the tray, but they don't fit as snug, because these, you put 8 of these in there, they're like up on each other. They fit snug, versus these don't fit as snug. So there's a lot of room and play in the tray. Okay, but let's get to it. So today we are planting Coleus. This is the Coleus. This is from Baker's Creek. Coloca Rose, but I think that is really, really pretty. So we're going to do 12 of those. We're also going to do another Ahi Crystal. We started this last week. We only have one popping up, so we're going to do this one again. This is a new pepper to me, so I'm really interested in trying it. We're going to do more jalapenos, the Craig's Grande. Again, we're going to do 18 of those. We're going to do 12 more Ajvarsky, which we started last week. We're going to do more Red Ember, which is a cayenne. We started last week. We are going to do a paprika. I did this one last year. This is from Territorial Seed. It's very nice. You can grind it up and have your own paprika powder. It's very nice. I want to try it again this year and see how it does. And then I'm doing sriracha, which is from Urban Farmer. I'm going to do 6 of those, and then I am going to do Serrano. I didn't grab that packet. Let's see. I did Serranos last year and liked them. They did well, so we're going to do another Serrano. This is the Spanish variety. I wonder if they turn red. Because the ones last year I had turned red. I think they will. Yep, they'll go to deep crimson. So that's tray 1. Then on the next tray, back here, and I'm sorry y'all, the sun is so bright. Okay, I just had to come out here and see if I can get some better lighting. But for the second tray, I'm doing a few new varieties. I'm doing Yellow Monster. I have never done this one before. So if you've done this one before, let me know down below and let me know if you had success or not. So I heard from somebody, from a couple of YouTubers, that this does well. I'm also doing Ozark Giant, which is a red. I'm going to try that one. I've never done that one before. Also the Wonder Bell from Territorial Seed. That is a new bell pepper that I'm trying. And I'm going to do an Anaheim. I've never done Anaheim peppers before, and I always get confused between Anaheim. These are the diced chilies, right? I think so. That's what I'm doing them for. I hope that's what. I want to have my own like diced green chilies that I can can. So that's why I'm doing these. So let me know if you've done Anaheim before and your success. And then I'm doing also the Sunrise Bumblebee. That was the first one that I did last year, and it did well. So we're going to try that again. I'm going to do some more Amish paste, and then a favorite, which is Sun Gold. And these seeds are old. They're 2022, but we're going to plant several of them and see if we can get them to germinate. The germination then was 99%, so we'll see if they germinate. So it's, a lot of times, you know, seeds don't expire, but they do lose their viability. And so instead of planting one seed, you may have to plant several to get some germination. But hey, that's what we'll do. I didn't order any Sun Gold, I don't think, because I couldn't find any. But those are the seeds that we're going to plant on tray 2. So that's half of them. So let's go ahead and get these 2 trays done, then I'll come back and show you what else we're going to be planting on the next set of trays. Okay guys, first 2 trays are done. I'm a little nervous about my Coleus. I don't remember the Coleus seeds being that tiny. Like, they were tiny like Snapdragon seeds. And there were only a few in the pack. I used both packs. But some of them, I think, fell. Like, I couldn't even see it. It was so small. I'm not sure where it went. So we're going to hope and pray that we get, if I could get probably 4 to 5 coleus out of the 12 that I did, I'd be happy. I don't have any more coleus seeds, I don't think. So we're going to hope and pray that that works. But everything else was good. I did have to substitute on the Sunrise Bumblebee. I only had enough for a 6 cell tray. So the other one that I did to substitute, it was not a substitute, but another one that I did is a new one that I'm doing called Goldie Tomato from M.I. Gardener. Oh, I already threw away the pack, I think. Let me see. I think I have another one in the house, but it's Goldie Tomato by M.I. Gardener. So let me know if you've done that one before. It's like a yellow, orange looking tomato. So those 2 things are done. I'm going to take these trays off and get set up for our next set of tomatoes and peppers that we're doing. And I'll come back and show you exactly what we're going to plant next. Okay guys, we're down to the last tray, and so I'm only going to do one more tray, but I switched. Instead of doing the 6 cell trays, I'm doing 16 cell trays. So there's 8 of them here, so that's 128 seeds on this tray. And so what I'm going to be doing in this tray, I'm going to be doing the Cayman, which is a tomato from Johnny Seed. It is a greenhouse tomato. I did some last week and I only had a few germinate, so we're going to do some more of those. It is great for the greenhouse and does really well in high heat and high humidity. I'm also going to be doing more Sakura, which is a cherry tomato. I'll be doing a tray of that. And then I'm going to be doing some more marigolds. This is just going to be regular marigolds. These are the seeds I got from the Dollar Tree. These will be a lot of the ones that I sell just because they're what people know. And then I'm going to do 2 trays of the beefsteak tomato, just a traditional beefsteak that does well. I'm also going to do Big Beef Plus. I've done that one every year. It does well. It's from Johnny Seeds. I'm going to do 4 Paul Robinson. This is just a great tomato that I like to just have just for sandwiches and stuff. It has a great smoky flavor. It is an heirloom, so it's not very disease resistant. I'm only going to do 4 seeds. If I get 1 plant, I'm fine. It's just for me. It's not for anything else. They don't produce well in terms of a lot of volume at all. It is strictly, I like the taste, so I'm going to do it. And then next, I'm going to do some cayenne. I did the red ember on the other ones, and the red embers are more for me because it is a very nice quality cayenne pepper that is really, really thick. This is a more traditional thin cayenne pepper, which is what people typically want and know. And so we sold a lot of these last year, so I'm going to do these, and I'll keep some of these if I need to, but I prefer the red ember. And then I'm going to do another set of marigolds, and this is going to be strictly for my green stalks. This is a dwarf bolero version. I did it last year. It's very pretty and it's more compact. A viewer sent me this, from Fairy Morse, so I'm going to do more of those. So that's what we're going to do. Another 128 seeds. We've already done 3 trays of 72. So what is that? 216 plus the 128. So that'll be 344 more seeds today. So let's get to this last tray. Okay, y'all, 3rd tray, D-O-N-E, done. Week 7 in the books. Over 300 seeds started for week 7. Tomatoes, peppers, marigold, and coleus. Now, again, the things that I'm starting at weeks 8, 7, and 6 are all things that can be started 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost date. So if you have not started your tomatoes and peppers and you're within that time frame, you're not late. If you're at 6 weeks before, go ahead and start your tomatoes and peppers. I just choose to start it at the farthest away in, and that way, if something doesn't go right the first week, then I have another week, and then I have another week. So that is the way that I'm doing it. Now, next week, you're going to want to tune in, because next week, we're going to be at the halfway mark at 6 weeks before the last frost date. And I'm going to go over some specific things that you need to be thinking about at the halfway mark and show you exactly what I do at the halfway mark. So do not miss it. If you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now so that you can follow along on the journey. And if you're new and you're going to do this Seed Starting Weekly Challenge, let me know below and say, yes, I am in. I hope that your gardens are going well. I hope that your seed starting is going well. If you have questions and need help, please put your questions down below and I will do my best to help you out. Remember, y'all, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.